Okay, how do you attract and retain your absolute best customers? Well, that's about what I'm gonna dive into right now. Look, so many entrepreneurs spend so much money wasted out there trying to get customers in the door, but they're not attracting the right type of customers. So many other entrepreneurs are focused on getting new people in the door and not on keeping the people that they have. Look, it's vital that you do both. I think it's estimated that 5% increase in retention can be as much as 100% increase to your profits. So you've got to do both of these things right. Attract the right customers, the customers that will love you, that will pay the most, that will be loyal and will refer others. And at the same time, retain those customers longer in order to increase your lifetime value and profits. How do you do it? I've got 12 tips today, 6 with attracting the best customers and 6 with the best retention. These are the tips that I've used to build multiple 7 and 8 figure businesses and have exits. And I'm going to share them with you so you can cut through the noise and know exactly what you need to do to get the best customers in the door and to keep those best customers. So 12 tips. Let's dive in. So let's start with attracting the right customers. Here's my 6 best tips to do this. Again, from somebody who's built and exited from multiple 7 and 8 figure businesses. Number 1, you have to know your audience. Now, this is oftentimes called a customer avatar. And a customer avatar should really be a lot of specifics about the person. A lot of people go as far as giving the avatar a name and even having a picture up in the office or at their desk so they can relate to who this avatar is. What is their age? What is their demographic? Where are they from? Are they male? Are they female? What podcasts do they listen to? What do they do for fun? What do they actually read? On what news stations do they follow? What magazines do they read? What problems do they have right now? What keeps them up at night? What are their struggles? These type of things will give you a lot of insight of the people that you actually serve. And this is essential because when you can understand from their own language, for example, what their problem is and what keeps them up at night and what that problem looks like when it's solved, well, you can use that exact same language to speak back to your customers. So I'll give you an example. We found in surveys that 100% of people we asked, thousands and thousands and thousands that we interviewed, we asked a survey to, or sent the survey to, 100% of them said they want to grow their business faster than they are right now. Well, that's an important thing, right? Because now in ads, we can go out there and say, hey, are you an entrepreneur who's looking to grow your business faster than you are right now? We know our audience is going to say yes to this question. And by knowing and understanding that avatar, it helps us to attract a better customer because they feel like we're speaking directly to them because we understand their problems. We understand what keeps them up at night. We understand what their life is going to look like when those problems are solved from their own words. So as a result of that, we're able to better speak to our avatar and get the right customer in the door. If you don't get this right, you're just putting ads out into the world and you might be getting cheap leads, but these leads will not convert. They're not going to buy what you have. A lot of them won't even have the money to buy what you have. Okay. One of my buddies actually tried this the other day. I said, Ty, I'm getting $5 Facebook ads. I said, that's great, but just know that you might not find that those people can actually qualify to buy your products. 2 months later, I followed up, said, how's it going? He said, I'm not making any sales. I said, yeah. He said, so he pulled back from those ads altogether because he's attracting leads, but these aren't leads that can buy. That's the problem you have to solve. By knowing your customer avatar, you could do this. Use ChatGPT to help you and have like a 1-page avatar with all the details of your potential avatar. Now, keep in mind, think about it. If you find out what magazines they're reading, for example, where they spend their time, what news stations are on, you can actually go and advertise exactly where they are. So it's even one more thing that's nice about having this custom avatar designed and knowing who your perfect target customer is. Number 2, build a strong brand. Look, people do business with people that they know, like, and trust. So you should be doing 2 things here. 1, you should be building your personal brand. So if you go, Ty Crandall's everywhere. I have my own social media pages, my own following, right? And Credit Suite has its own as well. So you should be doing both. You should be working on your personal brand. What do you stand for? What's your personal values? What's your mission? And all your social channels should be congruent with that representation of you and your personal brand. The same thing should happen for your company as well. What does your company stand for? What is your mission? What are your values? What are your purpose? You should be putting that out in the world, and you should be making sure that there's congruency everywhere that your business is listed online. That little profile image for Facebook should be the exact same for X, should be exactly the same thing for TikTok, for Instagram. You want to make sure that the branding is consistent. If you go find me on Instagram and you find me on TikTok, you should know that I'm the right person just based on the colors and the feel of my branding and my being uniform, my logo, etc. etc. So you want to make sure that you're doing the same thing. You want to make sure that your brand is consistent online everywhere it's listed. You'll be surprised at how much you maybe have put up a message on Facebook about what your business does, and then all of a sudden you forget about it, and then years later you go back and go, man, we've changed so much. Why is this still up there? Keep up with your social channels, your description of your company, the keywords you're targeting, the coloring, the images that you're using. It should be congruent across platforms. So when people see you on one platform and see you on another, their brain recognizes that you are the same company or you are the same person. Look, this building a strong brand is essential because, again, people do business with people they know, like, and trust. And the more often they see you and the more they know and recognize that they're seeing you on this platform the more credibility it actually gives you. So, by the way, coming in from St. Louis, Mike South, thanks for coming in and saying hello. Give me your company's name right here in the live stream. I'm going to give you a shout out. So number 3, leverage social proof. Look, psychology shows that people are more inclined to buy from you if they see that other people are already buying from you and getting good results. And there's a lot of different ways to do this, right? We could do case studies. We could do testimonials. We could do actual results. So if you go to Credit Suite's website, for example, we've got an About Us section, and there you can even select, hey, I want case studies, to see a lot of case studies from clients that actually got financing. You could see actual results, like hundreds of actual real business credit approvals from our customers. You can see video testimonials. You can see our reviews on places like Trustpilot. So again, you want to be able to get as much feedback as possible, as many reviews, as many testimonials. We'll even send, if we have a good customer with a good story, we'll send a videographer in their area out to their house, because it's worth the cost of getting a good video done by a good videographer, even if you're just paying them for the raw footage and you're doing the editing or they are doing the editing. Social proof is really important. People want to do business with people they know, like, and trust, and they want to do business with people that they see other people are doing business with, and those companies are proven to be trustworthy. So you have to leverage that social proof. So you've got to know your audience and build that avatar. You've got to build a strong brand that's recognizable. You need to leverage social proof. These are 3 of the essentials with attracting the right customer in the door. And that brings me to number 4. You have to enhance your customer experience. So you got to make sure that everything from the minute a lead comes into your ecosystem all the way to after they've used your services and they're probably done forever as a client, that process is seamless. You've got to make sure that the navigation to your process is smooth. You've got to make sure that you get quick customer service when they respond. You have to have seamless servicing as well. So what I mean by this is you have to really make sure that customer has a really positive experience. Now, here's what's interesting. We are so obsessed with Zappos. We are so obsessed with these different companies that do these outrageous things to be able to increase customer experience. The books and support show that's not what we need to do. What people want is they have an expectation, and our goal is to make sure that we meet that expectation. We don't need to blow it out of the water. We don't need to come up with all these shocking things we're doing to create all this awe. What people really want is to get the expectation they set out to get. What they really want to do is they want to come in and they want to get the result that they're actually trying to get, the result that you hired them to get. And they want it to be seamless. They don't want to be chasing you down. They don't want to be, trying to get in touch with people when they're available and you're not available. They don't want to come in and have an uphill battle to log in your software and then have to call in. They don't want to call in and be transferred to somebody else, right? These are things none of us like. So just make sure that you enhance a good customer experience, a customer experience where somebody comes in and goes, wow, this is really impressive. I would tell my family, I would tell my friends, I enrolled to get this, they delivered this, and I had a really good positive experience. When I needed help, there was help along the way. Navigating through their system, their software, their tech, whatever, was easy as well. That's the kind of experience that you want to create. So don't get obsessed with creating some outrageous experiences over the top. Just understand what your customers are looking to get and deliver that with a seamless experience, and make sure that they have access to the communication from your team when they want it, right? That's the kind of society we're in right now. If I want to talk to somebody, I want to talk to them right now. So you want to make sure that you have the means available for them to get in touch with you when they're actually available to do so, because especially if you're servicing business owners, a lot of business owners are busy when it's convenient for you to actually talk to them. And that brings me to number 5. Number 5 is you want to use referral programs and offers. Look, one of the best customers you're ever going to get is somebody that comes from a referral, and you are already know why. Because how many times have you bought a product or service because somebody recommended that company? And how much vetting did you really do? Look, I do major transactions with accountants, with attorneys, and all kinds of people that I'm just asking people around me, hey, who would you recommend for this? And if my friends say, go with this company, then I go with that company. I don't do a ton of due diligence, admittingly, to look into them because, again, if they come highly recommended from somebody that had positive experience, I'm typically more inclined to actually use that company. That's the power of referrals. So you need to make sure that you are using referral programs, that you're rewarding and incentivizing people that are referring you business. We just got a customer the other day because the company referred us. So I drilled it down. I said, who over there referred you? She goes, well, nobody. In their onboarding stuff, there was a link that referred me to you. Now, they put that link there a long time ago, probably haven't even thought about it. But you know what? We're cutting them a pretty good size check for that referral. And I made it a point to reach out to them and thank them as well. So here's a link they haven't even thought about, and they're going to continue to keep it there, continue to refer us, and it'll go on maybe indefinitely without them thinking about it. But by me calling and creating a pattern interrupt saying, hey, I really appreciate you doing this, and then by on top of that, sending them a check, a reward for that referral, now they're more inclined. They're like, wait a minute, that was one referral. What if we do more to drive more referrals their way? Now we become front of mind just because we have a referral program that involves thanking them for their referral and rewarding them for their referral, however that may be. Typically money, gift cards, those kind of things. Really nice incentives. I can blown away at how many entrepreneurs get their referrals from other people, other businesses, and they don't even call to thank those people that are referring them. Look, if you don't thank the person that's going to refer you, that's referring customers to you, you're not going to be referring you people very much longer, right? You've dealt with that before. How many times have you referred somebody over? A phenomenal referral, an absolute positive referral when you send somebody over to another company. Another company never even thanks you, acknowledges it. Then you talk to that person later and find out they enrolled with that company. And the company didn't thank you, didn't say anything to you, didn't send you anything, didn't do anything. Look, that doesn't make you feel good. And if it happens again and again, then what's going to inevitably happen is that people are going to stop referring you. So when you get a referral, make sure you call and thank that company. Stay front of mind. Tell them that you appreciate them and have a referral program somehow, some way to reward them for actually sending you that referral. And by the way, GDTV is in the house. Thank you very much for coming in and saying hello. And again, if you give me your company name here on the live stream, I will give you a shout out. And that brings me to number 6, the final of my how to attract customers. Then we talk about the most important piece, which is how to retain them. And this is engage on social media. Look, I remember the very first time I was ever on live streaming, right? It was Periscope. This was Twitter. It was the first one that really launched a live platform. Now we've got YouTube Live, Instagram, everybody's live, right? But it didn't happen. At the very beginning of it, it was Periscope that rolled it out. And I remember how astonishing it was. I was watching some guy play a guitar on the top of this mountain in North Carolina. And then I'd say something in the chat and he would acknowledge me. And I was like, this is crazy. Like I'm here in Tampa, Florida, starting my day. This guy's up there on the sunrise on the top of this beautiful mountain in down North Carolina. And I'm talking to him and he's talking back to me. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. To this day, people still love that. People love it when they're commenting on your live streams and you're responding to them. You're acknowledging them. You're saying hi to them. Engagement is a powerful thing. And when people feel like you're engaging with them and they can engage with you, then this is how you build a loyal following, a loyal tribe. And the bigger and more, the bigger that tribe is, then the easier it is for you to get more referrals from that group, even if they don't buy. And the more inclined they are to buy just because they do know you, they like you, and they trust you. But this only happens if you're building a personal brand and a business brand. You're going live regularly, releasing content, and you're engaging with your customers. When people comment on your channels, respond to their comment. When they engage in their live stream, and respond to their comment and get as well and engage with them. Engagement is so important because it's what make people feel. I'm tripping over my words today. Like they're actually part of your family, like they're part of your tribe. So let's recap these 6 different top ways to attract customers. Number 1, you have to know your audience. You have to build that avatar. By the way, if you don't know how to do this, there's a couple ways to do it. First of all, check your social media platforms. A lot of social media platforms like YouTube will even tell you a lot of your demographic information of who's actually watching your content. The other thing is just send out surveys. If you don't really know what keeps your audience up at night, what the problem is they're trying to solve, send out a survey. Incentivize them with a $5 Starbucks gift card, a $10 Amazon gift card, incentivize them. When you get 100, 200 responses, then you're going to have a really good idea of the answers to these questions. So there are a couple different ways you can get a better familiarity with your avatar. Number two, build that strong brand. Remember, people do business with companies and people they know, like, and trust. So make sure your branding is congruent. Make sure you're out there building a strong personal brand and a business brand as well, so you can be seen as an authority. Number three, make sure you're leveraging social proof, testimonials, case studies, actual results, whatever you can do to show the world that other people are using you and happy, the better you're going to be. Number four, enhance that customer experience. Don't try to blow people out of the water by doing shocking, surprising, cool things. Make sure you understand what their goal is and then help them get easy wins and help them accomplish those goals. If they do that and have open communication and an easy, smooth path with communicating with your team, they're going to be happy. Number five, we're going to use referral programs. We are going to reward people that refer us. We're going to make sure they know they get rewarded when they refer us. And we're going to thank every single person that actually sends us a referral. If we do this, those people will send us more and more and more referrals. But if we don't give them praise, if we don't thank them, if we're not rewarding them, those referrals will stop. And number six, and by the way, those referrals are the best leads we're ever going to get. And that brings me to number six. We have to engage on social media. And engaging on social media is all about building a loyal tribe and making sure that you're responding to them, that you're creating a conversation for engagement. The more you do that, the more they feel like that they're part of your family, the more they're going to refer, and the more they're going to do business with you. Now, let's get to the 6 tips for retaining customers, and these are essential, and here's why. Look, 5% increase in retention can be as much as 100% increase to your profit. It's significant. So what we want to do is stop obsessing with getting new people in the door and start obsessing with keeping the people we already have in the door. And how do we do that? Well, here's the number one of 6 things to do. First of all, deliver outstanding customer service. So you want to make sure that that customer's expectations are exceeded when they come in and talk to you. Now, how do you do this? Well, you want to make sure, first of all, that you know what their goal is and give them an easy win to get that goal. So for example, at Credit Suite, one of the things we like to do is helps people get on the very first phone call with them, their first starter vendors approved. Because we know that if somebody can come in and get an approval on the very first phone call with us, they're going to say, wow, wait a second, this really works. Buyer's remorse is a big deal. You have to know it's a big deal, and you have to make sure that you're blowing somebody away the minute they come in. We do a 45 to 60-minute call with a new client just to help them get set up so they get off that call and go, wow, that was my first call, and I already made all of this progress. So make sure you blow them away right from the beginning. Know what their goal is and start having them get easy wins towards those goals right in the gate. You want to make sure that after your first phone call with your team and them, that they're walking away going, wait, this is way better than I ever anticipated it would be. The other thing is throughout the process of them being a customer, make sure that you're keeping in touch. Make sure that you understand what they're trying to accomplish and make sure that you keep them on that path. So at Credit Suite, we develop a blueprint for somebody right at the beginning of, hey, here's where you are. Here's where you want to go. Here's how we're going to get you there. That way on subsequent phone calls, we could say, hey, here's where we are in this path to get you where you want to be on this blueprint. They understand where they're going. They understand how we're going to get them there. And we do too. And we're like coming back and constantly reminding them that we're on this path. It reiterates the fact that we're helping you get your goals. Here's where we are now. Here's what we've accomplished. Here's what's next. And keeping them on that path is essential to keeping them as a customer. So deliver outstanding customer service, anything you could do along the way. But remember, this really comes down to knowing what they want and meeting those expectations and making sure that you're easily giving them paths to be able to communicate with your team when it's convenient for them. Number 2, create a loyalty program. Reward them for being loyal. We send our clients, especially the first 6 months, something special every one of those months. And there's a reason we've done that historically, because we want them to have these little surprises. We want them to basically see that we have a program that gives them rewards because they're loyal and they're staying an actual customer. Now, you can come in and have discounts. You can have perks. You can have incentives. You can have gifts that you give. We tried just about everything. My favorite of it is this little credit card that looks like a credit card, but it has their EIN and DUNS number on it. Think about it. I don't ever remember my EIN or DUNS number. I always have to go look it up when somebody asks. But by having a little card that's on my desk with that, I always have something I can grab, and that always has that company name on it. So think about that. What is something else that doesn't cost a lot of money, but that goes a long way? Okay, I've had my best books and given those to clients every month where they get one of my favorite books. So these things don't cost a lot, but go a long way to let them know that you are thinking of them. So create a loyalty program. The longer they're in, the more perks, the more incentives that they should actually be able to receive. They should want to stay with you longer and want to work towards another level. That's how good your loyalty program should be. Number 3, personalize your communication. Look, we are in a world where people want personalization. Everything needs to be personalized. Okay. They want to know that you are creating a unique experience just for them. Our software does this. When you enroll with us to build business credit, we're only showing you the business credit sources you can actually get right now. We're showing you what's wrong with your own fundability and exactly what to fix. We're telling you all the financing you can qualify for right now. It's completely personalized to what works for you. So you want to make sure that you have that personalized communication, custom emails, custom offers to them, phone calls just to see how they're doing. Remember, you don't want to get into this automated trap where everything you're sending them is coming from an automated system. You want to make sure you're giving them one-on-one time, even if that's something that they wouldn't expect. They want to get personalized emails, personalized texts, personalized phone calls, and maybe personalized reports or any part of the process you could personalize. We like to design an actual blueprint for our customers and give it to them that's customized just for them. It's personalized just for them. Okay, that makes people feel good because they know that you're not giving them something that's part of their process, but you're actually creating a unique personalized experience for them. Number 4, listen and improve. You should have some kind of review system for customers. You should be going out regularly and saying, hey, how's your experience? And you should be measuring those results to see how happy your actual customers are. You should be asking them for suggestions and improvements. And you really should be focusing on doing those things that people actually ask you to do. So we have the best partner program in the country. It's really the top one, help 10,000 people get into the business of offering business credit and financing. And so many of our partners come in and say, wow, everything I need is here. How did you do that? Well, it's simple. In the beginning, we gave our partners what we thought they needed. They asked us for more. We gave them that. We gave them more until they finally said it's too much, pull back. Then we pulled back until we found the perfect place. And now we have a world 10 years later where our partners actually come in and get everything it is that they're really looking to get. So they're coming in and they have access to everything that they really want. We listened to them. We improved our process to give them what they want. When we built our new software, we listened to what our customers said. What didn't you like about our old software? What didn't you like about business credit building? What do you like? Then we created a whole new tech that helped serve their needs. Hey, they wanted personalized experience. They didn't want to go through vendor after vendor after vendor to find the ones that worked for them. They only wanted to see the ones that would work for them. They didn't want to go through every financing option and be sad because they knew they couldn't get a lot of them. They just wanted to see the stuff they could get. They wanted to stop getting denied. So everything we did was working around their concerns, listening to them and improving what we did. And if you do this, well, then you're always going to be on top. But when you stop doing this, then somebody else is going to come and eat your lunch and easily bypass you, and you create even more competition because you're not listening to your customers. Think about this, right? This is what happened when we talk about Netflix and Blockbuster. People did not like paying late fees. It was the biggest complaint Blockbuster had, but late fees were a good percentage of their revenue. They didn't want to forego that percentage of their revenue to make people happy. So they didn't listen and they just pressed on. And now Blockbuster obviously is no more. I can tell you stories the same as you, so many stories along the way. Same thing with Kodak, right? Kodak was so obsessed with keeping film because film was a good portion of their revenue that even when they had the first opportunity ever to create digital cameras, they actually didn't do it. They knew about the tech. They actually, one of their inside reps created the tech and they said, nope, not going to do it. Then we wouldn't be able to sell film. They didn't listen to their customers. And now that's a massive company out of business. Do not fall into that trap. You have to listen. You have to improve. Number 5, you want to strengthen your emotional connection with your customers. You have to collect feedback and make continuous improvements on what you have to share your brand story and values to faster long-term relationships, right? So brand story is important. Look, I owned a mortgage company. My mortgage company failed. It pushed me almost to the brink of bankruptcy, lost everything. I tell the story. When I stand on stages and tell my story, my founder story, then what happens is every time, 100% of the time, somebody always comes up to me, usually many more than one people, and say, hey, I can relate. I went through that. This happened. This happened. When you are vulnerable, what happens is people can relate to that. And it shows a lot of character because you're willing to go out into the world and admit your faults, admit where you failed, and then use that as lessons to be able to help other people improve. And when you can do that, it's a pretty noble thing. When you're willing to take your deepest, darkest secrets, your skeletons, and put them out for the whole world to see, to say, hey, this happened to me. And I want you to learn what happened to me so you don't have those problems. It's a very, very, very noble thing to do. And a lot of people see you as highly credible for doing that. So make sure you create an emotional connection. Tell your stories, tell your weaknesses, admit when you mess up. This still shocks me, okay? Is that people don't admit when they're wrong. They don't take ownership. They don't take accountability for what took place. And oftentimes that's all people want to hear is, hey, I messed up and this is what happened and this is what caused me to do this and this is what I learned and that's not going to happen again. Be vulnerable. Share your brand story. Share your story of how you got to where you are, the biggest mistakes you've made along the way. This helps people relate to you. It helps people relate to your brand. It creates strong emotional connection. And that is the type of connection where people actually really want to work with you and your company. And lastly, make sure you surprise and delight. This becomes so important. So we look at companies like Zappos and all the stories of these crazy extra things that they do. There's so many of these companies where their stories like live in infamy forever, because we hear what they do to blow their customers away. So you want to offer unexpected perks, gifts, exclusive content to help keep your customers engaged, things that they do not expect to have happen. And this is something I've learned a long time throughout my journey here, is that you've got to make sure that you give people things that they don't even expect. And again, it's nice to do this when you know they might even be dropping out. If you are really focused on retention, you're going to see that there's a certain part in your journey where people drop out. That is the part of your journey where you want to be doing things to delight them, to surprise them, things that they didn't expect. And that will be one of the things that will help you even more in the retention area. Now, you're not doing this just to retain customers. You're doing it because it's the right thing to do. And again, the more money somebody's paying you, the more things you should be doing. Okay. So for example, I've got a good connection in a company that we want to do a lot of business with. Well, he's a Baltimore Ravens fan. So I'm going to be sending him things like Baltimore Ravens really good tickets, amongst other things, the things he doesn't expect, and it makes us stand out to him. So make sure that you're coming in and doing things to surprise your customers, to delight your customers. The more money they spend, the more money you should be dedicating to doing this. Realistically, 5% or 10% of whatever it is that somebody pays you, you should be paying back to them for the sake of surprising, delighting, personalization, and basically creating a scenario where they're more loyal. You need to do this. 5% to 10% of what that person pays should be set aside on these type of things that surprise, delight, and help keep customers loyal and help keep customers retained. That goes a long way. Remember, 5% increase in retention can be as much as 100% increase in your profit. So let's repeat these 6. How do you retain customers? Number 1, you deliver outstanding customer service. Number 2, you create a loyalty program. Okay, reward them for staying with you longer. Discounts, perks, incentives. Okay, VIP access. So for example, with us, if our partners are with us and they're with us a certain period of time, we give them free access to our boot camps. Okay, this shows how happy and excited that we are that they're actually retaining with us as a partner. Personalized communication. Remember, people like personalization. So personalize your experience, personalize your communication with that customer. Don't get into this trap to save time of all automated. They want that personalization. You and I both know you can easily recognize it when it's there. Number 4, listen and improve. You have to survey. You have to ask people, are they happy? Are they sad? What do they like? What don't they like? Work on improving the things that they want improved. Go more into the things that are working, and then fix the things that aren't working to improve that overall customer experience. Number 5, strengthen the emotional connection. Share your brand story. Share the faults that you've had. Be honest about your mistakes. Take ownership. Take accountability. The more things you do this, the better long-term relationships you build. And number 6, surprise and delight. Come up with these random things that you're doing from time to time to just surprise customers, to give them things and bonuses and incentives that they didn't even think about, that they didn't even know were there. If you're doing these 6 things, you're going to retain customers. And if you missed any part of the 6 things that we talked about on attracting customers, go back and watch this on its entirety on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, whatever platform you're watching on. So there you have it. There are my 12 things that you can do to be able to attract more customers and retain more customers. If you got value from this training, pound that like button and subscribe, and make sure you keep an eye out for our next training. We're always talking about more cool ways to get the money you need and the ability and the skills you need to start growing.